Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Southern Dirt. My name is Summer and today I'll be giving you an update of my Central Florida Zone 9 garden for the month of November. If this is the first time you are joining me, we have 1,100 square foot of garden along with a food forest in our front yard with over 125 fruiting trees. That includes our blueberry bushes that we have lined around the garden. Over here I will start with our Vego garden beds and what we have in those. I have some beans that I just kind of popped in here. I also have some African blue basil, which is new to the garden. As you can see, we have all kinds of pollinators. There's bees everywhere. I have been propagating this like crazy because it has definitely been a really nice touch to our garden because it is bringing so many pollinators in and it looks absolutely beautiful. Over here we have some longevity spinach. This is kind of new this year as well. This was given to me from a friend, and we actually have a variety that's just straight green. This is kind of a purple and green variety. It's really fun. I really don't have any issues growing with it. It grew all the way through the summer with no problems, not many issues with bugs at all. We have some cranberry hibiscus. We've got a pepper over here that's hanging in there from the summer. Right here I have some comfrey. This is also given to me from a friend. This is supposed to be a natural fertilizer type of plant. So I've got a few in my backyard garden that I'm growing, and hopefully we'll be able to take these leaves and just throw them at the bottom of our beds and use it as fertilizer. So stay tuned on how we're going to end up using this in the garden. I have a kale plant that is about 2 years old here. It's kind of hanging in there too. Kind of just wanted to see what it would do. Right now it's growing into a tree. Last season I did that and had a few that survived. I even had a collard green plant that grew into a nice tree, and I actually recently lost that one. I have some space in here. I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to put in here. I keep looking at the stores to see if there's anything unique that I don't have. About 98% of my garden is started from seed, so I typically don't like to buy things from the store unless it's something that's very rare or something I don't have. I have some basil plants here that I propagated from my other basil plants. And over here I have some, what is this? This is some turmeric, and I think it's about ready to harvest. So I do want to put a video together on how to harvest. I have some plants in my backyard garden that are in pots that would be easier to just kind of dump out and harvest. Maybe I'll put a little video together in this video and show you at the end. I'm not sure yet if I'll get to that. But we have our herbs. I've got some basil up here, and I have some mint down here, along with some rosemary, some oregano that I've kind of propagated and put in this little wheelbarrow. Over here I have some really fun butterfly peas. So these are actually butterfly like tea. You can actually harvest the flowers. They are these little purple flowers and make this really beautiful tea. These were given to me by a friend, so I'm really excited about that. I had irrigation over here, but it was almost getting too wet. I have like a drain field over here, and with all this rain and the hurricanes, it's kind of having an issue. I was worried about losing these. So right now I'm just kind of hand watering every so often, so they're kind of taking a bit to grow. Over here is my GreenStalk garden that I'm super excited to show you because look at all these tomatoes. So to give you a little background on this tomato plant, I actually bought a tomato plant from Lowe's. It's called Siam. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but it's just a little short tomato that stays small. And I thought I would try it out in the GreenStalk last season, and it did so well that I thought, you know what, I'm gonna save the seeds and try to start them next season. So that is what I've done. I've saved the seeds to that plant because they're like, if you've seen prices on plants at the store these days, your little 3-inch pots that used to be $3 are like $5 to $7 now. So it's really expensive to buy plants, and these are doing fabulous. So if you don't have a GreenStalk garden yet, I definitely suggest them. I have purchased 3 myself. I have one over here, one over there. You can save $10 off your order if you use my promo code with my affiliate link in the description below. You can grow anything in here. I have some herbs. I have thyme and chives. I've got some lavender here. I even have some cabbage. I put some beans in here. I started basil, sage. I even have started some carrots. I've never grown carrots in my GreenStalk, so I'm going to try that out. Then I've got some kale down here at the bottom, along with some more herbs. I even have a few pieces of lettuce stuck back in there, some flowers, and a pepper. So I'm really liking how this is turning out. I might even do a whole GreenStalk with tomatoes. And what I like about this also is that it comes with, or you can order a frost cover that's super easy to throw over it. So I actually have 2, and I'm looking to purchase a 3rd one and kind of keep the things that are frost sensitive in those, because they're so easy to cover. Having a huge garden like I do have, it is a pain in the butt to keep everything covered when we do have a frost advisory. Over here in our other Vego garden bed, I have some bok choy that is looking beautiful. I always like to kind of show you guys and get down real low and show you how nice these are all looking. If you haven't grown bok choy or pak choy, I definitely recommend it. You can mix it in salads or stir fry it. I have some salad bowl lettuce here. These are all started from seed through here. I also popped in some little onion sets here, as you can see. These are beyond ready to harvest. Same with these. You can actually harvest the whole bok choy head, or you can harvest leaves from the side. I like to harvest leaves from the side because then my plant will continue to keep growing. Same with my kale and collard greens. These are one of the only plants that I think I have bought for my garden this season. These are collard greens. I think they were like Bonnie Best collard greens, or Bonnie's Choice. I purchased those a couple years ago and they did really well. So I thought I'd mix that in with the rest of the garden. I did start some Georgia Southern collards and some other things, some other different variety of collards. I think it was a Vates variety. These tomatoes are doing really great. These are a Florida variety, I believe. And as soon as I can remember what they were, I'll tell you. I'm gonna put it in the screen below. My mind is just blank today. And I will show you those tomatoes. These are just doing so good and they're so healthy. I've been very blessed to not have many bugs yet this season. I did have an invasion of white flies and got those taken care of. I've got some cilantro here. My irrigation just went off, so that's why kind of everything is laying down. And here, it'll bounce back up here. Here's my other GreenStalk garden. I have all kinds of herbs. Here's some beautiful rosemary that I propagated. It's doing so well up here. I love how it just drapes down. And I've got some oregano I propagated. Got all kinds of different lettuces here. I stuck a little basil in here I'm propagating right now. And what's nice about basil is you can just cut it and put it right in the soil, and as long as it's getting water, it's gonna do fine. You don't want it kind of in a direct sun. This, as the sun goes by, it doesn't really get this side a whole lot, so I'm not worried about it. We have some peppers All these peppers were from last season. I just overwintered them, cut them back, and we have all kinds of little peppers growing on them. I have another little mini tomato plant here. I have some pintos that I propagated. Another little mini tomato plant. I have some eggplants. I have 2 eggplants actually. It's the first time I've grown eggplants in my GreenStalk, so I kind of like to change up my GreenStalk gardens to show you what you can actually grow in them, because you virtually can grow anything in them. So I am going to try this out, so you guys stay tuned to how all of this does. These are all ready to harvest. I really could harvest these. Over here I have another GreenStalk, and I am still waiting for my local nursery to get more strawberries in them. Last year during the summer, we weren't here a whole lot, and this area did not get, or this garden did not get the irrigation it needed, and it was kind of tilted, and I didn't realize that it wasn't level, so I lost a lot of my strawberry plants, which were struggling anyways. So I'm going to fill this with strawberries again. I've got to show you guys my sunflowers. They're just starting to open up. Got some that are closed. Now, these are my mammoth sunflowers, which typically grow 10 to 12 feet tall. And if you are just now joining me on my channel, you can go back and watch some of my recent videos from last year and see all of these huge sunflowers growing. This garden, since this tree has grown so big, does not get as much light as it used to. So these flowers just aren't growing as large as I'd like them to. I did put some sunflowers in this garden, which gets well enough sun, at least 10 hours of sun, and unfortunately a deer hopped my fence and ate those sunflowers. So I don't think I'll have super tall sunflowers this winter, but we'll definitely replant for the next season. Over here I've got some collard greens. We had this tree fall over in the hurricane and it just kind of crushed my collard greens, so I got a little later start on these because they were just kind of crushed and shaded. Over here I've got some peas that my daughter June has planted. You can kind of see some peas already started and ready to pick. Oh, look at this one. They give these really pretty flowers, and I really need to get over here and help encourage them to grow up here. I also have a foxglove that survived the winter and the ridiculous summer we had. I've got some more collard greens over here. We did have some sunflowers here that have already flowered, and I pulled those. I have my kale plant from 2 years ago that's still doing strong, or going strong. I've got our blueberry plants here. Look at these. I recently lost some blueberry plants as well and bought some from our local nursery that I have over here ready to go. I've got also some more longevity spinach. This stuff is so easy to propagate, and it's about to go to seed, so hopefully I will have some seeds to sell soon for this. Also, I offer cuttings. Not quite sure exactly when I'll start my cutting sales again, but during the holidays it's really hard for me to keep up with going to the post office and getting fresh cuttings out to you guys. So most likely after the holidays we'll be doing that again. Over here is my other garden. Kind of looks a little rough right now because the sun is pretty harsh, but that doesn't look like that all the time. I recently pulled my pumpkins, my seminal pumpkins from over there, and these guys, I went through and just pulled a lot of the weeds. They have done pretty decent, and I've got one here that's almost ready to pick. These are really great. I do sell them on my website if you want to check that out. They are a really great survival food. Can store them up to 9 months, which I have done, and you can use them in all kinds of dishes. I love to use it in soups and make pumpkin muffins. Over here, I've got some Everglades tomatoes. And Everglades tomatoes are these tiny little tomatoes. Here's one. They get about like dime size, and they give off so many. And that is also another Florida variety that does really great. They just give off so many, and I really need to get in here and kind of take away some of the leaves and kind of get them ready to give off more flowers. So those are doing really great. This year, one of my goals was to try and plant more flowers from seed. We've got a ton of zinnias going here that are looking beautiful. My youngest daughter loves to pick them and take them to her teacher. I think it's so sweet to just see her run out here and go, "Mommy, wait, I want to take a flower." And she just turned 5. My other daughters love to pick them and bring them in and put them on around the house, or if we have any guests coming over, or if anyone's not feeling well, we love to pick them and send them over to their homes to kind of brighten their day. I do have, let's see, bachelor button, I think is what they're called. Never grown those before, but I kind of sprinkled a few in over here. Maybe on my next tour you'll see them. Oh, also I do have zinnias for sale on the website. Over here I have some extra money makers, and that is exactly what I had planted in my Vego beds over there that I couldn't think of. Money makers was also given to me by one of my subscribers. I traded, I believe, him for some Everglades tomatoes. So if you have any rare varieties of different things that you don't see in my garden that you really love in Florida, I am open to trade seeds with you. So don't be afraid to ask, and I'll leave my email in the description below. You just can comment below and let me know of some varieties that you think are awesome. Over here, I think I have some Brussels sprouts. I haven't really been successful with Brussels sprouts, and I'm not a huge fan of them. I know they're healthy, but they're definitely expensive in the store to buy, but we're gonna give it another try. So if you have tips on growing Brussels sprouts in Florida, let me know. I think I got 3 plants. I have a Vates variety of collard greens here, and I have some kale also here that I started from seed. Then I have another, I think this is a Georgia Southern, or no, this is a Vates variety. I also have a blue dazzling kale here. Recently I started some beets, as you can see here. I don't know if you can see with all my weeds. It's really hard to keep the weeds out of my garden. I do have a pretty thick layer of mulch here. I like to keep about a thick 3-inch layer, but it's time for another chip drop, and I do not have enough to put down on the whole garden. So if you're local and you have a tree business and you need a place to dump wood chips, I will take them. So also, if you are new to the channel and you didn't know that you can get free wood chips, look for a local, your local garden center. They may know people, or your local ag extension. You may even have an area where you can go pick free mulch up. But it has done wonders for my garden. Over here we have some more collard greens. Oh no, I just missed a bunch of beautiful butterflies. Hopefully they'll come back. Over here I've got some more collard greens, and I have some zucchini here. These guys are just looking pretty rough. And over here, I'm excited to show you guys this. This is a scallop squash. You see that? I don't know if the sun is messing this up or not, but look at how cool this is. So I grew these a couple years ago, thought I'd give it another try. I've always struggled with growing squash. I'll probably get a few squash off of it, and after that I've got trouble with bugs and different things, especially the leaves turning, getting some fungus on them. So if you have any special tricks or tips for me, I am definitely not a super great expert at gardening. This is only, I think, my 8th year. There's a butterfly. But I love sharing my struggles with you, and I love the community of gardeners I have because you guys help me out as well. So there's one of my sunflowers that got eaten by the deer. These carrots are doing really good already. My girls have been out here harvesting carrots, and as they thin them out and harvest them, even though they're small, let me see if I can get one for you here. Oh, look. They just love eating them as a snack. So it's nice to come outside and see just these little tops all over the place with a little carrot nibbled down. And we like to feed the tops to our chickens. And I have 3 different varieties of carrots here. Each child started their own set of carrots here. Over here, I had a little trouble with deer, so these have been nibbled back quite a few times. Since then, I have put out poles, and I'm getting ready to put some fishing line up. I do have a tiny fence. Typically, deer do not hop the fence, but maybe once or twice a year, and if they get anything, it's maybe a couple tomato plants and some beans. I think it's a young deer that's doing it. And I'm gonna just put some fishing wire up and see if that helps. My local feed and seed store, a gentleman there that's so helpful to me, said, why don't you try some fishing line, because I definitely don't have time to do a taller fence, and that's just not in the budget. So that's something easy. So I've got some EMT poles ready to do that. Hopefully I'll update you and tell you how that is going. Over here I have some burgundy beans, and look at these. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad these are just perfect for you guys to see. Here, I'm gonna pick some for you so you can see them better. These are so fun. I don't know if you guys can see that. It always looks blurry to me. These are just a beautiful color. You also get these purple, pretty purple flowers. Here's a tiny little baby one. But our kids love these because when we go to cook them, as they get hot, they turn green. So we call them magic burgundy beans. They're really fun to grow. Over here, I've got some zinnias, and there's another butterfly. Oh, there's more butterflies. Let me see if I can get one. Let's see if you guys can see them. Here we go. Zinnias are just perfect if you want butterflies in your garden. We always have butterflies thanks to our zinnias in our garden. Over here we have what is called a rattlesnake bean. Let me see if I can find some for you. These are really fun. Right here. 2, they kind of got little colors. They're green, but they've got like these purple stripes, I guess you would say. And they're real nice. They're just real pretty. They're just different to have than regular green beans. So these are all pole beans here. I like growing pole because, well, I don't have to get in the dirt to pull. Over here, I've got some onion sets in the middle of the garden. Then I also have some cabbage here. It looks like it's really rough, but I promise you it's not. I think this is a 45-day cabbage. I tried to start cabbage at different times so I wasn't harvesting them all at once. And I think this completes this garden. Forgot to show you all of my succulents. They're doing really well this time of the year. Most of these succulents have been propagated from plants that have been given to me or that I had bought at the store. I love shopping clearance racks at Lowe's because something like this, that would be $20 because it is fall themed or it had a fall planter. You can get it for 50% off or less. So that's always fun. Over here is my herb garden. This is kind of where it all began. I just started with a few herbs. And if you have not gardened or started a garden yet, I suggest starting small with just a few herbs. See how you like it. See how it tastes in your meals. It's just a wonderful thing to eat fresh vegetables and fresh herbs. It is nothing like the store. Over here is some longevity spinach that is doing amazing. This is just one plant. And this is that just green variety. It's just a green leaf. It tastes just like the purple and green leaf. It just looks a little different. So hopefully I'll be selling cuttings here soon of these. If that's something you're interested in, just send me a message or comment below. I'm curious to know what types of cuttings you guys like. I do offer all my fruit tree cuttings, but I'm curious to know if that would be something you'd be interested in. I think I've covered most of my garden. My daughter's garden's doing really well. I'm gonna give you a little peek of that. Here's another little garden bed here with some more bok choy. I have some curly kale that I had left over from last season, just letting it grow into a tree. I've staked it off. And I've got some more African blue basil that I propagated. I think I've got some onions in here. So this is all doing beautiful. I've got my new gardening table with all my herbs on it. And here's my daughter's garden. And they've got this whole space. They've got all kinds of different things. They've got carrots. They have a little tea garden, some flowers. They've got peas growing, carrots, and random flowers. And they even have a little pot with lettuce in it. So this is just a fun area. It looks ate up with weeds, but they literally just pulled weeds last week. But they're having a lot of fun with that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you had a great day, and we'll catch up with you soon.